now. You look like the Outbreak Monkey.
Then it hit me like a brick in the head. I'm old. Hey, why'd you give me flowers? Were you worried about me?
Why in the hell do we have flowers on here?
Well, first day of spring was yesterday, so I just wanted to bring some springiness to the peoples.
Head on that joker. Holy smokes. Solar eclipse.
That must be bobblehead.
A hot air balloon on a neck. That thing is monstrositous, man. It's got to be like a fitted sheet. Where's the remote?
Someone for Christmas.
Okay. You okay?
What's the process?
You ready?
Come on, you gotta try.
You must not know about me. You must not know about me. Could have another you in a minute. Hey, you must not know about me. You must not know about me. I could have another you tomorrow.
Okay, cut the music. Okay, cut the music.
Whatever.
Cut it. Cut.
I'm not in the mood. Shh. I'm not in the mood.
I need silence for this. Beyonce,
Hey.
I'm sorry. Welcome to Midwest Mayhem. I am Tron Smith. He is Chad Christensen.
Yes.
Man, wow.
Welcome back.
Dude, I'm excited.
Huh?
You know what
Let's
the
go.
weather said yesterday?
I
55
know.
degrees.
Crazy.
It almost hit 60.
It was beautiful. For the first day of spring, baby.
Dude, I enjoy spring. You know, it just starts making me think about football.
Yeah.
And we're getting closer to, it's just one of those things. It's like, spring.
Hey, you just jumped right over baseball.
Hey, man, hey. Let's get to the football
Okay,
thing, right? So you
okay.
start thinking about camp season and things like that.
Okay.
You know, all the trades. You start thinking about the NFL draft and the combine. Dude, it's football season.
Man, I thought you was going to go someplace else with that totally, but okay.
All right, well, whatever, man.
I actually like spring as well because I think people just start to get in better moods in general.
100%.
Period.
You know, it's different in our industry because as it starts warming up, it changes people's feelings. And spring and Christmas. Those are the times where people are really, really in good moods. And plus the weather's just beautiful, so you can get out on a lot and kind of move things around and see what things are doing. So it is, man. It's a really, really good time of the year. And I can tell by these flowers that you put. I'm not.
You're welcome for that.
I don't understand the flowers. Why you would do that?
Well, I mean, yesterday was the first day of spring, so I wanted the people out there to know that, hey, everything is getting better. The weather's getting better. Flowers are coming out. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
That's all I'm saying about it.
Okay. I like Wilson.
First day of spring was yesterday. Hey, happy second day of spring, man.
Hey, if you're gonna say that every day,
I'm going to.
All right. Anyway, well, I kind of miss Wilson when Wilson's not
I agree.
on set with us. It makes me uncomfortable. But since we're talking about Wilson, we want to talk about our wonderful sponsor, Wilson Toyota here at 2212 South Duff Avenue, just a short drive from anywhere in the metro. We just have fun here every day.
I like it.
So much going on at this dealership that you really want to be able to follow things. We have a really good social media. I don't know what you want to call it, agent, director, manager. I don't know,
producer,
what you want to call it.
everything in one.
Everything. It's a one-stop shop. She does
it.
everything, but definitely does a great job of keeping everyone up to date on Instagram and on Twitter. Of course, that is at Wilson of Ames. And when it comes to Facebook and TikTok, you are at Wilson Toyota of Ames. You would think that I would have this in my memory.
Man, I thought you had it.
But it's one of the things. And then, of course, if you want to really, really follow Get Down with the Get Down, you can follow the big dog, right? At Big Strong, that's 2 G's when you're as big as I am, and at Big Strong 1. And you know what? I think there's another. I think that you need to share your at Chad C Yum Yum. If I got that right, is that the right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
at Chad C Yum Yum.
Chad C Yum Yum.
Yeah, Yum Yum.
Hey, you got to remember my old career. That's all it's about. It was food.
I think when people hear that, they think maybe you were running a Oriental restaurant or a Korean store or something. That's Yum Yum, right?
Oh my gosh,
that's just what I think.
All right,
that's the first thing that comes to my mind, man. You call it.
You ever had Yum Yum sauce?
Yeah, that's why I said what I said. I mean, I don't get why people's eyes get all big because the Yum Yum sauce. Who doesn't like?
Well,
Yum
that's
Yum
not
sauce?
why I did it, but at least it's. Let's go.
Hey, whatever. I mean, what with you with the yum sauce and things like that. But it's thinking about the weather getting better. It kind of changes my mindset to start thinking to my sales staff and my staff in general about the direction that we going forward. And we kind of led into this morning about, do you have the ability to make something out of nothing?
Right.
Right.
I thought it was such a great statement you made this morning. I was watching around the room. I was watching who actually got what you were saying and who just brushed it by. And then my mind went to the same people that brush it by every day are the same people, and when I say on the board, that aren't where they think they should be. Well, it was just my mindset. I was just watching go, did it sink in or did it just go by? That's all I'm saying.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says something that I always share with you guys. Know your role and shut your mouth. Oof. Right? You have to know where you stand. And I think in the sales industry, especially in a lot of dealerships, I'm pretty sure it's every dealership, you have that salesperson that's just a natural salesman. I mean, he's just naturally, people like him. He's a good guy. So he, by default, and I'm going to say by default, sells cars. Right. That guy doesn't necessarily, though, make something out of nothing. Right?
Great point.
He doesn't take that customer that shows up for a specific vehicle that's maybe no longer available, or maybe it wasn't the vehicle that the customer thought. He doesn't take that customer and actually move them to a vehicle that fits their wants and needs.
Right.
And that's what I mean by taking something out of nothing. Right. And I think in our industry, I think sometimes we give the internet too much credit. Right? We
try to make it easy for us.
Well, I think that we believe that the customer has been on the internet and they've done our jobs for us, so we don't need to ask those important questions once the customer comes in. Right. Of, what is it, what are you going to use the car for? What's most important for you? Is your family going to be in the car? Which always amazed me, how many salespeople don't actually spend the time to find out what customers are going to use the car for and who's going to be in it.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because you making that statement right there goes right back to making something out of nothing. If you actually take the time and give a crap enough to care about the person sitting in front of you and find the wants and needs, you will sell a car that day. You will.
No, well,
I mean, I think you will. If you rush the process and you don't listen, and then again, the person doesn't come here, and you say this all the time too, the person doesn't come to the store just to hang out.
No, listen.
They're here to buy something.
This isn't the spot. This isn't the place to window shop.
Right.
When the customer decides, especially now with the internet out there and all the information they can get online, by the time they get to the dealership, they are actually looking for two things. They're looking for the perfect car that they've put in their mind, but they're also looking for a salesperson. And I think salespeople fail to realize that when they're coming in, the difference in you of them buying there and buying somewhere else is the salesperson. Right. Everybody makes a good car, right? I mean, nobody makes a bad product anymore.
Agreed.
Some people make them better, but no one makes a bad product. So the difference, the thing that stands out the most is that salesperson. Are you the type of salesperson that gives the customer the experience that allows that customer to buy everything from you forever?
Oh, I love when you say that. I actually do.
That's my thing.
It just it puts the whole thing in perspective of, are you here for today or are you here for a lifetime?
Well, I think when you think about the sales funnel, it's different for the salesperson versus the consumer. And once salespeople and once sales managers and organizations realize that our funnel is flipped from the consumer's funnel.
Right. Makes total sense.
What do I mean by that?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so when the customer shows up on day one, that customer, most of the time they're just starting, right? They're looking for the perfect car. They're looking for the perfect salesperson. So they may be in a 2-week window. They may be in a 3-week window. Maybe it's a month window, right?
Right.
But it's going to take you to change that thought process and maybe find them the perfect vehicle for them to buy today. So when they show up, their thought process is really, hey, I'm here to shop to prepare myself to purchase a vehicle.
Right.
If it works out today, great. If it doesn't, it's going to take me a little time. As to where the salesperson's and the store's funnel is flipped. When a customer comes in, we're automatically, all of our eggs are in one basket. Sell them today or don't sell them. Right? Most salespeople don't follow up.
Right.
Most salespeople don't have the ability. They don't think, I share with you, and I always share with our sales staff. We work in an industry that 100% of the people we talk to purchase. It's just, they all buy. They all buy from someone, from someplace, at some point.
Right.
So when you know that the consumer is going to purchase, your job becomes you. Right, man. do I give them everything they need? Am I giving them the right process to help them to where they want to be? And that's what I mean when I say that funnel's flipped over.
Right.
The customer will buy today, but they didn't come in with the mindset. They need help. They need guidance.
When you brought up the how are you as a salesperson? It's funny because you and I didn't really talk before we came in here today, but we kind of wrote down some of the same things about what we wanted to share today. And I wrote down just as far as a couple little things, right? I always try to be positive. Just be positive. Not just positive here, but positive in life, right? I think it generates more positivity around you and creates more of a good vibe, if it makes sense, just being in general terms. And I think that when people come in the store as a salesperson, right, I think you need to be positive. You need to make yourself unique. You need to stand out. But you also need to be genuine, right? If you can't be genuine, people can see right through it.
Well, it's funny because there's me starting my engine again. People buy cars from people they know, people they like, and people they trust. Okay, that trifecta of doing that. And it's hard to do that sometimes if you're not a real people person in an hour or whatever it takes. But you just got to understand, I remember I was listening to Walter Bond, and Walter Bond said something in one of his speeches. He says, the most dangerous salesperson in the world, the best salesperson in the world is a 4 foot tall little girl. It's the Girl Scouts, right? And it made me start thinking about, right now, the Girl Scouts are in full force.
They're everywhere. Everywhere.
You go anywhere.
I went to Lowe's, man.
I'm telling you, I stopped in Casey's and went in the bathroom. There was one. Would you like to buy it? Before I went in, and when I came out, it was a totally different group, dude. I mean, it was like, how did y'all switch that quick? But the Girl Scouts are out there, and I'd start thinking to myself and really paying attention to what Walter said. But he's right. It's like it's really hard for you to say no to the Girl Scouts because there's you know what the cause is. You trust them. It's the Girl Scouts, right? You like them. Who doesn't like a kid, any kid, right, in front of you saying, it's even with Boy Scouts, tell them.
Right.
And you know them, you trust them, you like them. I mean, so it makes it impossible to say no. I bought more cookies the other day. Everywhere my wife and I went, there was a Girl Scout, and she was like, "Stop buying those cookies." And I was like, "I can't.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
I can't look those kids in the face and say no." It's like, okay, I'll buy cookies from you too, right? So, but I'm saying they kind of gave us a roadmap in our industry. If we know that, right, you need to understand that people need to know you, they need to trust you, and they need to like you. So it's very, very important that you take the time to get to know that customer,
right,
and what they need and what they're going to use the vehicle for. And if you can do that, again, it gives you the ability to be their sales professional for everything that they buy forever. And that's the key to this business. And we were talking about it off. When we were off the mics, I mean, it's
we got to be careful here because I know we could make this a massive, broad conversation, but I even was thinking about on the sales side, how do you make yourself unique? What do you do to get people's attention? Is it videos? Is it what? I don't know, but when there are 14 of us here or so, and 14 of us go up to the door when that person's there. What have I done ahead of time? And this is just me speaking here. What have I done ahead of time that person can walk through the door and they recognize me before anyone else without ever meeting me? Does that make sense?
Well, yes. And I'll tell you two things. I'll give credit to Grant Cardone because this is his, but he said something that I realized years and years and years ago. If when it comes to videos and posts that you put, if you don't think anyone's watching, then no one's watching. You can beep that out, edit that. But I had to say it that way because it was impactful the way he said it. So if you don't think anyone's watching you, then no one's watching you.
Right.
And you have to make sure every decision you make, you have to realize that, man, I shot a video yesterday, but I need to shoot another video today, and I need to shoot another video the next day, and you have to keep pursuing that until people kind of it becomes catchy. Right. The other thing that I'll tell you is that when I was in sales, I was a part of everything. It was big. It was really important for me to be in my surroundings, in my community. So my thought was, if a customer showed up in my store, right? If they came to Wilson Toyota, 2212 South Duff Avenue, just a short drive from anywhere in the metro, right? They came to Wilson Toyota and they did not have a salesperson. My goal was to get them to say, "I've never been here before, but does Tron work here?"
Right.
So everywhere I went, I talk to people about what I did. Oh man, I'm about to get in trouble. But it's what do you do when you're in public? Not you in general. I know who you are because you and I talk about this all the time.
Right.
But most salespeople, when they're in public, they've almost adapted the embarrassment of being a car salesman. So they don't.
Agreed.
They're not proud of who they are, and they're
Agreed.
not in places where they're like, "Dude, I'm an automotive sales professional.
Yeah, I'm a professional.
Right?
Let's go."
So they don't share what their profession is with a lot of people when they should. Me, I wanted everyone to know that I was in the car industry. So I shared that no matter where I was, every opportunity that I had.
Right.
And I think our salespeople now, they don't do that. They
and it's
don't
crazy
share.
to me with all the ability out there.
They're embarrassed
to throw information to people to let people know who you are, what your purpose is.
They're embarrassed.
Yeah, but do you know one of my favorite things is when someone walks to the door and they're like, "Hey, I'm here to see that guy that has the Wilson ball." They don't even know my name, but they came in and asked for the guy with the Wilson ball.
They know Wilson.
They know Wilson. That's right.
But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the ability. But here's what I'll tell you. What else are customers? How do you stand out as a salesperson? Say what you mean and mean what you say. And what I mean by that is so many salespeople, they give the consumer the same spiel, right? If a customer ever asks you, "Hey, what makes you different from anyone else?" You will get the same answer from most salespeople. "I'm going to take care of you."
Right.
Right? That's the first sentence that comes out of most salespeople's mouth. And the problem with that is that most of the time they don't. Most of the time they'll sell you a car, but when you call them with issues, they don't call you back.
Right.
They don't get back to you. They don't want to hear from you until you're ready to buy again. And if you want to be a really, really impactful and successful salesperson, you have to realize that, man, it takes that follow-up. It takes you being a part of someone's – it takes you being a part of someone's life.
I knew you were going there.
It's a tough word. I hate to use that word.
It's so true, though. Do you realize when you just do, and I know I do goofy little things all the time.
Yes, you
do. But that Wilson ball and I do a 10-second happy birthday video to customers. And I just send it. And people are, one, shocked that I do it. And two, they get a kick out of it and just say, "Hey, that was awesome." A lot of the times that's the response. I don't do it to try to inbrain them or me in their mind. I do it because I actually genuinely care about the people that I've sold to. And you realize it when they start bringing other family members in and other friends in, and they're just like, "Hey, Chad, this is so-and-so. I want you to take care of them." Right?
You sold a Highlander the other day to a customer, and I will not share their name just because I haven't gotten their permission to share their name. But before they left, they made a must that they come into my office and speak to me, and they said to me, "You know, Chad has taken care of my wife and I and all of my kids, and I wanted to stop to say what great job he does." And that's when you know you have a salesperson that's doing it right.
Right.
If you're doing it the right way. I had a customer, and I won't use our friend that's sitting at the desk, but I had a lot of customers like her parents who we just became friends in the industry. It never became work anymore. It was never a stressful thing for them to purchase a car, and it was never stressful for me to sell it. But it was that initial time that I met her dad that really kind of set the tone forever to have a conversation about, and for him, I remember him saying, "You're the first person that took me serious." You know what I mean? And you're funny. And by the time he left, I knew his wife's name. I knew that he had kids. I knew where they went to school. I mean, all these things were important to me. So if you want to be successful in this business, it takes you doing the real hard stuff in the beginning. It takes you taking the time, slowing down the speed up. It takes you really, really, really taking an interest in that consumer, not because you want to take advantage of them, because the more you know about someone, the better you can help them.
Makes total sense.
Right?
Makes total sense, right? You go into a shoe store to purchase shoes. They ask you, what are you buying them for? Are you running? Are you hiking? Is it for comfort? I mean, they're asking questions to help you. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but it's funny.
It's true.
I use what size because a lot of times all those things come hand in hand, and sometimes salespeople leave out that really good part.
Yeah.
What size? Right? I mean, man, you asked all the good questions, but you forgot the real question. What size?
Right.
Okay. So it's the same thing in the car business. You know, you think about getting customers in, and again, we're talking about being successful in this business.
Right.
What does it take to be successful in this business?
The first thing I think about is if you're not a professional, if you don't believe in what you're doing and proud of what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Does that make sense? As far as a profession, if you're not
100%.
proud of what you're doing, you're never going to succeed.
You're
going to get by.
Well, salespeople, sales managers, owners, GMs, you have to get past what we've created in our industry.
We keep going back to this too.
But because it's so true and
It
it's
is
so
true.
right now, we have to get past. We have to start being proud of the part that we play in society.
Right.
When it comes to things, our industry moves the world. Right. We
Sure
keep
does.
it moving.
Sure does.
We keep the ability for people to go back and forth to work, for people to go on vacation, for people to go train or whatever you do. That's what we do, and we should be proud of what we do as an industry. And that's not the case in most cases with salespeople. Man, it kind of goes back to me saying, as a sales manager, I don't want to just hire anybody. You know, I'm not the kind of sales manager where you can come in and I'm like, oh, dude, you work at McDonald's, I want to hire you now, right? And
Right.
unless you're just a amazing person. And I'm like, you know, man, this is an amazing dude. He's working there. I see why they want to keep him, kind of a deal. But I think we're too quick to just hire bodies,
Right.
And then on top of you
Right.
hiring bodies, you don't train those people, which really makes.
And we've talked about that too quite a bit.
We're embarrassed when we go places. You know, we don't. You know, you think about this. You can be sitting in a room at any given moment, and I know this. I can be sitting in a room at any given moment, and you can start talking incomes, right? And more than likely, I'm probably in the top 2%
Right.
of that room.
Right.
And that's pretty much any room I'm going to be in.
Right.
Right? So you start thinking about, man, how important is what I do? For me to be sitting in a room of 50 people and I'm in the top 2%, man, what I do must be extremely important.
So for those out there that are thinking about getting in the industry or that are in the industry and not getting to the point of where they want to do, take a look in the mirror and then realize what Tron just said, because it's there if you want it. It's there if you want to get it.
I think when I hired all you guys and we started talking incomes, it's kind of funny because when people come in and they say, hey, you know what, I want to get into a profession that allows me to make $60,000 to $70,000, and I look them all in the face and say the same thing. If you make $60,000 or $70,000 here, I'm going to fire you.
I've heard you say it.
Right?
I actually have heard you say
I mean,
it.
I'm gonna let you go because you're not giving me
Right.
You're not giving me 100% of you. It's simple in the car business. First of all, don't lie to people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
100%.
Be genuine.
100%.
Right? Be genuine. Know your product.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
And I agree with you when you say, hey, you know what, you have to enjoy what you do. It is important that for you to stay in this industry and you to be successful, you have to really, really enjoy the
Right.
business.
Well, when you were talking about success, again, I think it's one of those things where, again, and this goes out to everyone out there, you have to define to yourself what you think success is, and then you have to have goals to get there, right?
Well, you know, they
Or is
say,
success just getting through the week? I mean, come on now.
well, goals without a plan is just a dream, and you wake up from dreams, right?
Preach,
so,
preacher.
You know, if you want to be successful in this business, it has to be about money, but it can't all be all about
Right.
money. If you want to be successful in this business, it has to be about people, right? I mean, you have to be
It
a
has to
people
be.
person. If you want to be successful in this business, you have to love your phone. That means you
Yeah.
need to love phone
Yes.
calls
Yes.
and follow up, and you need to be okay with dealing with, issues.
Right.
This business brings issues, right? Because we're talking about mechanical things
Daily.
that break down.
Daily.
And just
Yes.
because a car breaks down doesn't mean it's a bad manufacturer. It just means that on that given day something got wrong
Something
and
happened.
the car
Yep.
broke down. And
Yep.
if you're not willing to deal with that phone call because here's the
how do
thing
you
that gets
handle
me
it?
about
Yep.
salespeople.
Yep.
Right?
How do you handle it?
Here's the thing that gets me about salespeople. When a customer calls you after you've sold them the car,
Right.
and anything happens, I don't care if they're upset with your finance department. I don't care if they're upset with your sales manager. I don't care if they're upset with service.
Right.
They're going to call you. You are the only
Every
person
time.
that they know.
Every time.
Yeah. The only person they know, the only person they trust, and the only person they like, and that's why they bought the car
Right.
from you. Why are you so upset that they're calling you?
Right.
I love when customers call me, right? Because the one person that I know that I can get it taken care of is me.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm sorry that you're upset. That service, and I understand and I appreciate, right? I
There it
understand
is.
what
There
you're
it
going
is.
through, and I feel
Yep.
what you feel. Right.
Yep. And let's get it figured out.
Let's get it figured out.
Let's get it
We're
figured
here
out.
now. How do we figure it out? As salespeople, as sales managers, as GMs, man, we got to get out in front of the issues because things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And that's to be successful.
going to happen.
Again, you have to be okay with dealing with those issues. I don't have a problem with dealing with issues. And I always say, and I'll share this from the consumer standpoint. I have no problem. I will help any consumer that comes in with any issue, any issue. And any customer, as long as they're respectful to me and my organization.
Right.
If you come into my store and you start raising your voice
Just
and using
on fire.
profanity,
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to help you. And guess what? No matter where you are, if you do that, no one's going to want to help you.
No one's going to, because it is such a negative way of going about trying to resolve a situation.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, I have this problem. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
It's so much easier, and I know emotions get involved, and
100%.
and purchasing a car is an investment. I mean, it's not like going and buying a carton of milk. And if something happens to your investment, what are you going to do about it? How are we going to help too?
Well, first thing we got to do is we got to be open and honest up front. I'm gonna get through this because I think it's important for the consumer and the sales staff to understand this. You got to understand this. If you're going to have cars on your lot that are as-is cars, that means there's no warranty. You haven't looked at the car.
Right.
You just detailed it and
It's
you're selling
cleaned
it.
and it's on the lot.
You probably got that car priced in a really low market, so the consumer can afford it because you haven't put any warranty sign on it. If
Correct.
that's what you're selling your customer, you need to make sure that you're upfront, honest, 100% right out of the chute. Listen, this car has no warranty. If you want to get it looked at, go get it looked at. But understand, if something goes wrong with it, it is strictly up to you.
Right.
If that's not what you want, Mr., Mrs. Customer, I have cars that have warranties on them, which allows me to where if something comes on, we can cover it. We also have vehicle service agreements that we can cover it as well. We have to, in our industry, learn how to be open, honest with people right up front.
And I think you just hit the nail on the head again. It's such a difficult conversation for people to have, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. This is what you're looking at. And if you understand, right, this is what you're looking at, that's the customer's choice to move forward with that or not, right? If they want to get the car looked at, go get it looked at, right?
Well,
if you want to have something that peace of mind, let's take a step up.
100%. You get what you pay for. It's an old cliche, but it's so true. You get what you pay for. We just have to make sure that we do the right job, and we make sure that our customers understand what we are selling them. And sometimes in some places, and not all places, but it happens. I'm telling you right now, they play in the gray area and they hide things and they do things. We just don't do that. And as an industry, we really should stop doing that and
We
make
should
sure that
stop
we
doing
all
it.
fly straight. But again, if you're selling an as-is car, sell an as-is car. If you're selling something with a warranty, know what the warranty. Salespeople know what the warranty is.
Right.
Know
Right.
what it covers. Know
Right.
the ins and outs of everything that you're doing. These are things. That's how you become successful and you stay successful in this business. You have to first of all, you got to understand it's about money, but it's not all about money.
Right. I always refer to, and you and I have talked about it ever since I started, I think, if you just take care of the people, the money takes care of itself.
Yes.
It just does.
100%. It's one of those things to where it is a family tree when it comes to business. You are the roots and the base of the tree. Every customer you sell is a branch, right?
Right.
So every time you sell a customer, they branch off, and
It
then that
grows.
customer branches off, and how big is your tree?
Right.
All right. How big is your tree? I always get this little birdie,
Uh-oh.
put this flash card up. It's telling me shut up.
Like
Basically,
2-minute
is what it's
warning?
saying. No, we're past the 2-minute warning. It's like, stop talking. We're going to shut this thing off. So here's what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Every time we say this, I say the same thing. We can talk about this all day long.
This could be a long one.
Follow us. If you have specific questions about what we talked about, reach out to us on Instagram and Twitter at Wilson of Ames, or Facebook and TikTok at Wilson Toyota of Ames. Or feel free to reach out to me at Big Strong. That's 2 G's when you're as big as I am, and at Big Strong 1. And if you really want to know how stuff tastes, reach out to Chad. Yum yum. He's a yum yum guy.
people wake up every day and make it a great day. That's all I'm going to say. Make it a great day. Put it in your mind.
Thank you all for joining Midwest Mayhem, and we will be back here again.
Everyone.
He is Chad Christensen. I am Tron Smith.
The rapper.